Stop! Have you ever gone to a meeting and didn't know what to do? Don't let this be you. First, let's lay down some ground rules. Most organizations use Robert's Rules of Order to govern their meetings. Parliamentary procedure can be used anytime a group of 6 or more people want to meet. Basically, if you're making decisions in a meeting, you're using parliamentary procedure. When you go to a meeting, you'll probably be in a room, but meetings can be held just about anywhere. Once you get to a meeting, you should sit down and wait for the chair, aka the person with the gavel, to call it to order. The chair is usually the president or head of the organization, but for our purposes, let's just say it's this chair. The meeting is called to order. Upon taking your seat, you might receive a copy of the agenda, which is basically a schedule for the meeting. Each bullet point here is an item of business. Typically, opening ceremonies such as the pledge to the flag or roll call are performed after the meeting is called to order. After this, the previous meeting's minutes are read aloud by the secretary. Next, the agenda for the meeting is adopted. Once the agenda of the meeting is adopted, the meeting must follow that order. Reports are the next order of business. If an organization has multiple committees, the reports of boards, officers, and standing committees come first. There are such committees that are regular throughout an organization's lifetime, meaning that they do not expire. Reports of any special committees come after these reports, since special committees can and will dissolve once business is finished. Programs can also be held at this time, in which these are treated similarly to reports. The chair usually asks for questions after a report by saying, "Are there any questions for the report?" If you have a question about a report, you have what's known as a request for information. To ask your question, you must first rise and state, "Request for information." Once the chair says, the member will state the request. You can ask your question and sit back down. The chair will then ask if any member feels qualified to answer the question, and you will wait for your question to be answered by someone who is qualified to do so. Once the question has been answered, the chair will ask, "Is the member's question answered?" And you can reply yes or no. After reports is unfinished business. If there are any motions at the last meeting that were not finished, then these motions will be taken up. If you have a question about a motion, you can use a request for information here also. You can also debate on most motions if the chair asks for debate. To debate on a motion, simply rise and address the chair as Madam or Mr. Chair. Once the chair recognizes you, you can speak for up to 10 minutes. You yield the floor once you sit back down. You can speak up to 2 times on any debatable motion. After unfinished business, the next item of business is typically new business. During new business, any member can make a proposal in the form of a motion. Since this is a basics video, we will refrain from teaching about motions, but any new main motion can be debated and members can ask questions in the form of a request for information. Additionally, if you have any questions about meeting procedure, you can stand up while no one has the floor and say, "Parliamentary inquiry?" Once the chair has recognized you, you can ask your question about parliamentary procedure, and it will be answered by the chair. When there is no further new business, the chair asks for announcements. If there are no announcements, then the meeting moves to closing ceremonies and is adjourned. Congratulations! You've survived your meeting! If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more parliamentary procedure content, which includes how to manage meetings as a member, how to make motions, and everything parliamentary procedure. Now go out there and be the best member ever!